So, good day, everyone. So, my topic is all about freedom of expression in the digital age. So, in digital age, freedom of expression has expanded dramatically through new technologies and platforms offering unprecedented opportunities for individuals to share their opinions, mobilize movements, and engage in global conversation. However, this is the new landscape also comes with unique challenges that impact the balance between free speech, regulation, and safety. So, social media as a platforms for free speech. Social media platforms have become the central stage of expression of idea, personal stories, activism, and political discourse, amplifying voices and activism. Social media plays a crucial role in amplifying voice that may otherwise go go unheard, especially for marginalized communities. Movements like Me Too, Black Lives Matter, and climate change advocacy gain massive traction through social media platforms. These platforms offer the potential for democratizing information and creating global conversation. So the next one is risk of misinformation and disinformation. While social media can amplify voices, it also carries the risk of spreading false or misleading information. Misinformation, unintentional falsehoods, and disinformation. Deliberate spreading of false information can have dangerous consequences from influencing elections to promoting harmful health practices and can undermine public trust in institutions. So, the next one is online manipulation. The manipulation of online spaces through tactics like fake accounts, bots, or astroturfing further complicates the digital landscape. This creates a situation where the line between authentic expression and artificially manipulated narratives become increasingly blurred. So, the next one is censorship and content moderation. Censorship and content moderation are significant concerns when it comes to ensure a balance between free expression and preventing harmful online. So, in censorship moderation, we have government regulation of digital speech. Various governments have attempted to regulate digital speech through laws or measures such as internet shutdowns, social media bans, and legislation targeting fake news. So these attempts are often justified on the grounds of national security, public safety, or preserving social harmony. However, they also raise concerns about overreach and stifling of free speech, particularly in authoritarian regimes. So the next one is companies' rule and content moderation. Major tech companies like Facebook, or now we call Meta, Twitter, and YouTube play a central role in moderating content on their platforms. These companies have developed policies to curb harmful content, including hate speech, misinformation, and violence. But their methods are often criticized. Some argue that tech companies are not transparent enough in their decision making process, while the other believe they exercise too much control over free expression. So the next one is conflict between regulation and freedom. The debate around who should decide what is acceptable online remains unresolved. Governments and tech companies frequently clash over the extent of content regulation, with concerns in censorship, the potential for stifling free speech, and the growing influence of an unelect tech gains over global discourage. So the next is online hate speech and cyberbullying. The anonymity and wide reach of internet have unfortunately led to raise in online hate speech and cyberbullying, challenging the boundaries of free speech. So we have the number one is the rise of online harassment. Online harassment are are including targeted abuse. Trolling and cyberbullying has become a significant issue, especially on social media platforms. The psychology and emotional toll on victims can be devastating, leading to real-world consequences like mental health struggle and, in extreme cases, suicide. So the next one is balancing free speech with controlling hate speech. So one of the biggest challenges in digital spaces is finding balance between protecting free speech and controlling harmful content such as such as hate speech and extremism. While some argue that even offensive speech should be protected, or other content that allowing hate speech to spread online undermines societal norms and incites real world violence. So the next one is role of an AI in content detection. So artificial intelligence has become an essential tool for detecting harmful content on platforms. So AI algorithms can quickly identify and remove hate speech, graphic violence, and explicit content, but they are not foolproof. So they often struggle with uh, no one's content and cultural differences, something leading to wrong removals of failure to detect harmful content. So the next one is we have whistleblowing and digital journalism. In this digital age, platforms have enabled whistleblowers and citizen journalists to expose corruption, misconduct, and social injustice, often at great personal risk. So number one, we have digital platforms in exposing wrongdoing. So websites like WikiLeaks and social media platforms have become key tools, key tools for whistleblowers seeking for exposed government or corporate corruption. So the digital age has enabled global audiences to be informed about issues that might otherwise be suppressed by traditional media. So the next one is rest for journalists and activists. So the digital age space has made it uh, easier to spread information, but it has also made journalists and activists more vulnerable to surveillance, harassment, and legal action. Governments and corporations sometimes re, re, retaliate against whistleblowers and online journalists using tactics ranging from digital surveillance and hacking to lawsuits and imprisonment. So the next one is the rule of citizen journalism. Citizen journalism, where individuals report news outside of traditional media institution, has gained importance. However, this form of journalism can be fraught with challenges including ethical concerns about accuracy bias and exploitation of sensationalism. So, in conclusion, the digital has revolutionized between of uh, freedom of expression, providing an individuals with power, powerful tools to share the voices, engage in activism, and expose wrongdoing. However, the rise of misinformation online, harassment, and challenges to content moderation complicates this landscape, striking a balance between regulation and freedom of expression, ensuring protection against hate speech and cyberbullying, and safeguarding the rights of journalism and whistleblowers are crucial steps in navigating the complexities of digital speech in the modern world.
Good day everyone. Today I'm going to discuss my topic is all about the digital citizenship and rights awareness. As we continue to spend more time of our lives online, the concept of digital citizenship has become increasingly important. Digital citizenship is involves being responsible, ethical, and aware of one's rights and duties in the digital world. This includes safeguarding our privacy, understanding data protection, and using the internet responsibly. The following points highlights key aspects of digital rights awareness and ethical behavior online. So we have the online privacy and data protection. This This protection with the internet becoming central to both personal and professional activities. Ensuring online privacy and data protection has never been more important. How companies collect and use personal data. Many companies collect personal data to tailor services and ads. Personal information such as search history, location data, and social media activity can be used to target users with personalized advertisements. While this can improve user experience, it also raises our concerns about the surveillance data misuse and lack informed consent. Data breaches can expose sensitive information, making privacy a pressing issue for internet users. So, number two is we have the laws protecting digital rights. To protect our data, various countries have implemented laws. For instance, the General Data Protection Regulations, or the GDPR, in the European Union provides strong privacy protections and requires businesses to obtain explicit consent from individuals before collecting their data. It also gives individuals the right to access, correct, and delete their personal information. So, we have the Data Privacy Act of 2012, and the Philippines aims to protect personal information from unauthorized access and use, creating a framework for data protection in both public and private sectors. Strategies for protection personal data users can take several steps to safeguard their data. So we have the VPNs. The VPNs or the virtual private networks. VPNs encrypt your internet connection, helping protection personal information from hackers and third parties. So number two is we have the strong passwords. Using complex, unique passwords for each account reduce the risk of unauthorized access. So encryption sensitive data such as communications or files ensures that even if intercepted, the data remains unreadable without the decryption key. So cybersecurity and digital safety. With the increasing frequently and sophistication of cyber threats, individuals must be proactive in practicing cybersecurity and ensuring their digital safety. Common cyber threats. Some of the most common threats online includes phishing. So phishing, kabalo naman ta sa phishing. Phishing is the cyber criminals use fake emails or websites to tricks individuals providing personal or financial information. So the hacking. Hacking is the unauthorized individuals or groups may breach systems to steal data or disrupt services. The number three is the identity theft. Cybercriminals can steal personal information to impersonate individuals and commit fraud. So, pareha sa Facebook, magbuhat sila ilahang mga profile pero naka-poster sila kay para makuha nila ang mga data sa imuhang like imuhang igsuon, imuhang mga personal individuals. The number 4 is the malware. Malware or the malicious software designs to damage or exploit devices, steal data, or disrupt operations. So, for example, sa kaning mga company namang gid na mga like ransomware or bisag unsa nga mga exploiting mechanism para madaot inyong data or may steal nila ang data. So, what are the importance of cyber security practices? To stay safe online, individuals should adopt essential cybersecurity practices including two-factor authentication or the 2FA. Adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification such as code sent to a phone or in addition to a password. The second is the regular updates. Keeping software apps and devices are up to date ensures that security vulnerabilities are patched. So for example karon ang Messenger, di ba sa una Messenger is violet. So karon kay ni blue na pud siya kay nag-update na pud siya. So number 3 is the ethical hacking. White hat hackers or ethical hackers blah blah blah, nakabalo naman tani sa tong report pa ni Tracy about sa mga hat sa ethical hack. Then we have the fake news and digital literacy. As misinformation becomes more prevalent online, digital literacy and critical thinking are essential for navigating the digital landscape. The rise of deepfakes and manipulated media. Technologies like deepfakes, AI-generated media that can manipulate video, audio, and images have made it increasingly difficult to trust what we see online. Deepfakes can spread misinformation and manipulate public opinion, posing significant risk to individuals, governments, and businesses. So for example, like atong mga mama or papa nga di pa gid sila kaayo di pa gid sila kaayo kabalo sa paggamit sa social media, mao nang dali ra sila maluko. For example, imuhang video sa ilang kaila nga buhat-buhatan na sa AI, maluko na din sila, hala na nabuhat na din makuha na din sila, ma-fool na din sila. So the fact checking or techniques and digital literacy. To combat misinformation, users must develop critical thinking and digital literacy skills. This includes fact checking or using trusted fact-checking websites and tools to verify information before sharing it. So for example, ani is kanang mga balita nga tinuod bagid sila, dapat kuno ni mga reliable bagyod ang source nga ilang gihana kuhaan sa ilang gibalita. The number 2 is the identifying red flags. Recognizing unreliable sources, sensational headlines, and biased or unverified content can help individuals avoid spreading false information. So for example, ani is di lang nakikita ko ng Rappler kay murag bias man sila nga dapat ang sources is kanang sa isa lang katao ilaha kay murag hatagan nila bias nga alam murag kuan nila ba hatagan nila pagtagad ang isa ka tao nga dapat hatagan pa nila concerns ang isa. Then the media bias and algorithmic influence. So kini is the content we see online is often shaped by algorithms designed to keep us engaged. These algorithms prioritize contents that aligns with our interest, which can create filter bubbles and reinforce biases. Being aware of this influence can help users seek diverse perspective and avoid being trapped in echo chambers. So for example, ani is ang kaning uso man ang Facebook karon, Facebook nga mag-monetization. So ang ilaha is magpahi-content sila bisig unsa na lang, bisig mga bastos, bisig kuan basta lang makabuhat sila sa content, then mao to bisig walay klaro, pabuang-buang na lang basta lang mga content. So the ethics in the digital space. As digital citizens, we must be mindful of the ethical implications of our actions online. Ethical behavior involves not just following laws but also respecting the dignity and rights of others in digital spaces. So we have the responsibility when sharing content. Every user has a responsibility to share information that is truthful, respectful, and mindful of others' rights. Spreading misinformation, defamatory content, or offensive material can cause harm and undermine trust in digital platforms. So karon is usog gid na sa Facebook bisag mga dili maayo nga post ilahang i-share kay para lang sa content. So ethical AI development and concerns about bias. AI systems are increasingly involved in decision making across various industries, but concerns about bias in AI algorithms persist. These biases can proportionately affect marginalized groups, perpetuate discrimination, and make unfair decisions. Developers must ensure transparency, fairness, and inclusivity in AI systems to prevent harm and promote equality. Consequences of digital shaming and cancel culture. Digital shaming and cancel culture, where individuals or groups face public backlash to perceived wrongdoings, can have devastating consequences both on individuals involved and society at large. While social media help empower people to hold others accountable, it also raises questions about justice, forgiveness, and ethics. Public shaming in an online world. So for example karon, ang latest gyud karon nga issue is katong kang Richard, isa to pangalan ato. Katong nag-ingon siya nga ang Luzon daw is a European daw country nga tugnaw din ang atoa diri ang Mindanao is Sub-Saharan Mindanao waka waka So mao na to the conclusion in the digital age. Digital citizenship is more important than ever. As we engage in online spaces, we must be aware of our rights, responsibilities, and ethical implications of our actions by understanding privacy and data protection, practicing cybersecurity, combating misinformation, and fostering ethical behavior. We can help creating a safer and more responsible digital world for everyone. Mora to siya. Salamat. Thank you all.